Okay guys, so today we're looking at atmospheric pressure, and we're going to look at surface pressure charts. Now, one of the things that you can see on the screen, the big blue and green map, is a surface pressure chart of mainland Europe. A little bit of Greenland all of Greenland in there. Iceland, down to Africa, a bit of the Sahara, all the way across to Greece, Turkey, the Black Sea, then up to Scandinavia, and then across all the way to Newfoundland, right at the top of Canada. And some of the Arctic Circle you can just see the edge of. And then in the centre, we've got the United Kingdom. So what this chart tells us is it tells us what the pressure is doing in the atmosphere across this area. Now, atmospheric pressure is measured in millibars for this example. Some places it's measured in kilopascals. We use pascals for an SI unit, but for looking at surface pressure charts, we use millibars. And so this is taken on Sunday, because today when I'm doing this video is Sunday. You can see here that over the UK we have 1,032 millibars. This is a high pressure. Now, high pressure and low pressure is relative to each other. If it depends where you are in the world as to what a high pressure would be. So actually we get a high pressure here. It wouldn't necessarily be what a high pressure is over the equator. They have higher pressure than we have here. But for the UK right now and over Europe, 1,032 is pretty high, which is why we've got this nice sunny, clear weather. In the winter, it's not necessarily hot, because there's no surface, there's no cover over the planet. The clouds aren't keeping the heat in. The heat can escape really easily because there's no cloud cover. The heat can escape the atmosphere really easily. So that's what we've got in the winter, a classic winter high pressure system. We've got sunny, clear skies. Heat is able to escape really well, which explains why we've got 1,032, a high pressure right now. But if we were to look at, in a few days, what's going to happen, so probably when you guys are doing this lesson, we can look at, if we click on, it moves on 12 hours each time. So this is 12 o'clock Sunday, actually just before when I've done this lesson. And now this is midnight on Monday. And you can see we've still got this high pressure, but then there's a relative low pressure here. So we've got a change in pressure of 9 millibar moving from near Scotland in the North Sea just to the south here we are in the western approaches. We've got these other things going on around here, which I'll explain to you in a moment. They're frontal systems. So here you can see now, because this is changed to a low pressure. This low pressure is spread out. And you can see here, this big white number tells us what at the center this low pressure is. And then here, so where this X is, that tells us that this is 1,015 millibars there. We've got these extra bars as well. These extra bars tell us more about the pressure. So we know that all the way along here, it's like a contour map. This is 1,020 millibars. This one's 1,016, 1,012, 1,008. So it goes in fours. This X, the white bit here, tells us what exactly it is at each point. So as we're moving on through the week, we don't actually know that this is going to happen. This is a prediction. So this is what weather forecasters go off when they're trying to predict what the weather's going to do. And what we can see on Wednesday, I can predict now, using my knowledge of these surface pressure charts, is that the weather is going to get worse. It's going to get rainier. It's going to get significantly windier. So you can see that it's going to get windier because these isobars are much closer together. When they're closer together, it means that the wind will be moving faster because there's a greater gradient of pressure between one point and another, which means that air from the high pressure, so probably this high pressure over here, is going to want to get to this low pressure over here. Or from this high pressure here to this low pressure here. You can see that actually this weather is going to be circulating in this direction because it rotates in this direction around a low pressure. And this is where we get these really interesting. So then on Wednesday, at 12 o'clock on Wednesday, when 9 Set 3 will be doing their lesson, there is going to be probably cloudier, wetter, rainy, windier weather. We can tell then we can have a look at these other things, which are, these are called fronts. Now these fronts tell us more information about the weather. So you've got this red one with the little semicircles on. This is called a warm front. And then we've got these blue ones here, which are pointy, which is a cold front. So there is other information that you can tell between what's going to come along when you get a warm front, what's going to come along when you get a cold front. But we're not going to go into that now. It depends on what kind of front it is, and it will give you different types of weather. So at different points, it will rain underneath these fronts, and the wind will increase or decrease, depending on which kind of front it is. And then you've got these purple pink ones over here, which are called occluded fronts, which is where the warm front and the cold front have joined together, and they create another kind of weather system. So this tells us lots of information about the pressure, but you can see the main thing we want to see here is across in a horizontal movement. We can see that the pressure is going to be less over here and it's going to be greater over here. So Spain will still be getting reasonably good weather, whereas we will be getting really, especially down here, quite wet, really wet, rainy, windy weather. And if this bit over here gets to us, this is a big pressure change here because the lines are closer together. It's like a hill being steeper. The gradient here is much steeper. This weather's going to be really bad. Iceland's going to get some bad weather as well. Mainland Europe is still going to have its standard sort of cold, bright weather, which is pretty standard for this. This is what we talk about when we get the beast from the east last time came from over here. It was cold weather came off the off mainland Europe. This kind of pretty much gives us not only an understanding of what the pressure's doing, but it also gives us lots of information about how different pressure systems work. You can see so on Sunday, midnight on Sunday, there was a big low pressure system across Scandinavia. So I guess that they've had lots of snow. Feel free to look that up and tell me that I've got it wrong. But yeah, this is explaining why we've had good weather over the weekend, because we've got this big high pressure, and this explains this big low pressure, why we're going to get bad weather on Wednesday. I think. Again, I'm not 100% because this is only a prediction of what this pressure system might do. It might do it, it might not. Let's find out.